like an hour getting ready for this live. You know you're when you need young technical help. Sarah, shout out to Sarah for helping us to just fill in the description link and go live. Oh my god, so embarrassing. Anyway, hi everybody. How are you? Okay, guys, this is my first ever live specifically for Travel HUNNAY and my first ever time using the guest component of YouTube Live. So while you guys are all coming in, I want to introduce you to my dear friend here, Iris Duba. Hi, Iris.
Hi, guys.
And Iris, where are you at and what time is it for you right now? Because you look real alive, but I know it's not in the middle of the day for you.
Well, I'm in the Netherlands right now, and it is 1:39 a.m. So,
My
God for ring lights.
yeah, the ring light is working for you and moisturizer. I feel like you
Yes,
moisturize
yes.
important. Well, hi everybody. First of all, thank you for everybody just joining on. Like I always feel like whenever I do a live, I'm interrupting you in the middle of your day, whether you're like supposed to go pick up your kids or make dinner or do something. So the fact that you're joining me right now means so much. I see from Flint, Michigan. I love this part, by the way, guys. Tell me where you're hailing from. Guyana. So it's like we up in here, Trishawn. I love you. Yay. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay. So specifically, you guys, I'm in Los Angeles and my girl Iris here is from the Netherlands. And I'm coming here to first off thank every single one of y'all for watching my first ever travel episode where I take Jeezy to Vietnam. And if you haven't watched it yet, it's a fresh episode. It's only a week old. It's been up. And I'm here to answer all of your questions about travel or about life. But I also, most importantly, am here to encourage you guys to take the opportunity to travel. And I want to introduce you my saving grace that made this trip possible for me, which is Iris. Iris is the founder of Your Travel Nation, an incredible travel agency. And I say this because I I I I know that there are two ways to travel, okay? Basically, one is no travel agent and one is with the travel agent. And for me, I'm going to be straight up and honest here. When you don't travel with a travel agent, it's just a lot of work on you to go find the means and the transportation and to make sure everything's seamless. You don't want to be on the ground checking your phone, making sure that where's the car, why are my bags late, what happens if I didn't make the flight. You want to make sure that the 5 steps ahead of you is covered so that you can travel and relax. Like the whole point of vacationing is to relax. But on top of that, I know, Iris, that I've always thought that to have a travel agent, I mean, that would be you'd have to have a lot of money, that it would be so expensive to bring along this third party. But you created your agency to specifically fight that so anybody can travel. Tell me about your travel nation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen a lot of people traveling on a lot of budgets, and we can make it as exclusive as we want. But, the beauty of it is in connecting with people. And I think that's also what you will see, especially in episode 2, because we just watched it a little bit. That you can have a luxury hotel, but you will also be able to really connect with the locals of Vietnam. And that is amazing. And that's what we love. No, that's why we love doing what we do, because travel should be affordable and should be available to everyone. And obviously, there are always limits. But I think as long as we're looking at a lot of destinations that we offer, for example, you can go for less than $2,000 per person, excluding flights. So yeah, that's amazing.
That's huge. So a lot of you guys gave such heartwarming and such detailed comments on the first travel episode. I know you were reading the comments with me, Iris.
Mhm.
For those of you who are catching up, I posted my first ever travel episode where I take GZ to Vietnam, a huge dream of mine. Some of you guys are commenting. You knew that was a long time dream of mine. It finally happened. And when I posted the episode, I was so surprised to get back these incredible comments and questions about Vietnam and travel and these dreams that you guys had to travel to different places. So I'm sharing with you right here my secret weapon that made it happen. If it weren't for Iris, those incredible details down to the motorbike ride, the Set Om ride that I took Jeezy on, making sure that we both felt safe and we were not, we were in places that we didn't have to like when you're overseas and you're fact checking a place, sometimes it's hard to make sure that a place is viable and solid. And Iris did all of that for me so that I made sure that I could A, support female founded companies, B, make sure that these places are legit, that they're not, running the business in a way that could be dangerous or harmful to us in any way. And number three, like crossing off the list of accommodations, so that Jeezy and I could travel to our heart's desire from, really modest, cool, humble locations to, the most extravagant of luxury, and that was a dream come true. I've never been able to travel like that before. And I never thought that there was a travel agency that could accommodate every level of budget and dream, to make that happen. So after our episode, I heard, Iris, that your phone has been blowing up, that everybody's been hitting you up to travel. Tell me some of the feedback you're getting.
Yes, so we have been extremely busy. So we are sorry if you've not heard back from us yet, but I know most of us, we've catched up with most of you guys. So that's really exciting. But yeah, it's exciting to see, especially, after COVID. We just came from COVID and we got out of that. And, excited to get back on the road, and we can definitely see that. And I think that's also another reason why it's very important to be able to, we know what are good places to go after COVID. Oh,
You know what? Your camera jumped off, but we can still hear you.
okay, perfect. I'm not sure why my camera went off. Okay, anyway, so what I'm saying is, yeah, after COVID, it's very important to, we know what is good places to go. We know the hotels, whether they're up to standard or not. And I think that's more important than ever before.
Absolutely. I'm reading your guys' comments and I see um Vien's Travel said, I loved that trip. I'm a travel advisor myself, and I'm definitely looking forward to booking Vietnam vacations for myself and my clients. That is so cool. I also think travel agents, it's important to like have sources of people in the countries that you've never traveled to, right? Do you work with other travel agents, Iris?
Yeah, so we work with, we have our local offices in the destinations that we offer. And, obviously, because we're growing as much as we do right now, we might be expanding very soon.
Yay. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. And by the way, all my fam out here, you guys have hit up Iris already, telling her and where you want to travel to and the trips you guys have been dying to go to. Where were some of the destinations that you heard people wanted to travel to after seeing this episode?
A lot of people wanted to go to Japan. Japan has been very booming ever since COVID. So that's really exciting. But, we see a lot of Egypt, Africa safaris, obviously, are always a hit. And the Maldives as well.
Oh, that's cool. And Iris, somebody asked, do you help with trips in the US?
No, we don't at the moment.
Okay. Okay, so Iris travels everywhere else around the world, but the US not so much yet. But I'll be honest, the type of things, and you'll see in episode 2. So you guys stay tuned for part 2 of me and Jeezy's episode. I'll give you a little hint right now because you guys like made it here to our live. I take Jeezy on the most exciting, crazy fishing trip that we've ever had, and it could only be done like that in Hanoi. So one thing I love about you, Iris, is there were so many things that Jeezy and I love doing in the US. But of course, if you're in a different country, you have to try it to see it their way. And I am so glad that we went fishing. So that's one of the many adventures I wanted to do. Another one, which you'll see in episode 3, is scaling one of the most iconic and legendary mountains in Vietnam, which is called In Tho. And of course, again, Iris found all of the connections and guides and everything to make sure that we were safe doing this. We had a very jam-packed schedule. Jeezy and I were there for exactly 3 weeks, and I wanted to do all these specific things, and she made it happen. So these are some of the things that are so specific when you find a travel agent, because I don't want to travel and just sit on a beach all day. Like I want to travel and immerse myself in the culture and the people and the families, and what you'll see in episode 2 is so special because I joined a local family, and that was you, Iris. You put that together yourself. Tell us about that experience when people see part 2.
Yeah, so part two is very special to us as well because you got to experience the Pop family, and we're so excited for the world to see it because they are just the sweetest, most amazing people. We actually got to spend some time with them as well a couple of days before you were there, to see how they were doing after COVID, and it was just really amazing. It's the most warm, welcoming family and the most delicious food, and the stories that they have to tell is so incredible. And I think we will have a different type of respect for the people that we meet along the road.
Absolutely. Some of you guys are asking right now. Someone said, IR, Quen. You said, perfect timing. Can you provide Iris's information, please? I'm looking to plan a trip to Japan and Southeast Asia, which is totally her wheelhouse.
Hmm.
So, in the first episode, I took Vietnam. In the description below, you will see Iris's IG and her website. But if you don't go there, you can also know that it is Your Travel Nation at yourtravelnation.com and at Your Travel Nation on Instagram.
Yes, correct. And you can always write to us, um, to info@yourtravelnation.com, or just on our DMs, of course.
Absolutely. I also really love the way your company really takes a special commitment to sustainable traveling and supporting female founded businesses. Like, I wasn't even thinking of this, you guys, but on the second episode, you will see Jeezy on this really beautiful cocktail tour. And this was a female founded company where this woman moved to Vietnam years ago. Her name was Natalia, right?
Yes, correct, Natalia.
Yes, Natalia. And Iris, after learning me, because we planned this trip for about a year and a half, you guys, this was not something we threw together in a couple months. Iris and I actually penciled in the itinerary for this trip a year and a half ago, but so many things back and forth happened that we eventually got led back to this itinerary when we finally nailed down the dates. And Iris, you were so accommodating when I made some switch outs of the trip. I was like, let's do a train instead of this. Why don't we, take out this exotic thing and stay here with this family instead? And, all these things that you did last minute. And Iris, my favorite moment was when you called me and you were like, I think I'm going to add this cocktail tour to your schedule. I think you're going to love this. And I didn't plan this, you guys. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what a cocktail tour is like. I'm not sure if it's going to be fun. But she knew A, that it was supporting a female founded business, and B, that it was going to be fun because me and Jeezy like to drink. And not only do we like to drink, but we're tasting liquors and flavors of Vietnam like we've never done before. So why wouldn't I want to try it? And it was the best tour. So talk about like how you as a travel agent know specific things like that to make such customized experiences.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier in the live, I'm currently in the Netherlands, but I grew up here, but I travel about 6 to 9 months a year, developing the products that we actually sell, and seeing the places, and also testing the accommodation. So on the road, I get to know a lot of things, and I meet amazing people, and actually a lot. And thank you so much for touching on that, Jeannie, because it's so true. One of our core values in business is also that we give opportunities to women in tourism, and young passionate people. So when meeting Natalia, I was extremely excited to be doing the tour with her because I'd never done it myself. So I was like, let me do it and see how it is, and I was so excited about it. And that's when I immediately sent you a voice note, a little bit tipsy maybe, and I was like, Jeannie, you have to go and do this tour. We're gonna organize this for you, and I'm so glad that you loved it as well. And that's one of the most important things in business, is that you constantly evolve, especially in tourism where a lot of things are happening all the time. It's so important. And yeah, we love our female partners all over the world.
You guys, I'm chatting on the side here as Iris is talking, and I'm putting in her website, yourtravelnation.com, and IG is Your Travel Nation. So I'm reading all of your questions right now. Somebody asked about accessibility. Uh,
Yes, I saw that.
okay, so you saw that. Can you
Mhm.
answer that?
Yes, I did answer it indeed. So yeah, definitely just write us a message and let us know what exactly you need. But like for example, right now we're putting together a tour to Jordan for people that are not as accessible, and we arranged a golf cart for them to still be able to see Petra, one of the world wonders. So yeah, it shouldn't be a big of an issue. So just let us know what you need, and yeah, we've also had people with accessibility issues going on safari in Tanzania. So absolutely not an issue at all.
So cool. MJ Adventures, you said you have family in Vietnam and that you've never been and you're excited to go next year. I definitely hope you can hit up your travel nation before you go, because obviously, I mean, we touched the sky out there. So I want to make sure you throw in some of the moments that we had out there. Also, just letting you guys know, there's going to be 3 parts to my trip with Jeezy. So we did the first one already. The second episode is coming out next Tuesday. So it was going to come out this week, but I'm going to be really honest with you. There's so much to it that I was just doing the last minute touches on editing it this morning. So it's still being edited in real time. I promised you guys I'm going to include your comments and your questions in the video. I did that. We wanted to make sure that we didn't cut out any of the amazing goodness that happened between Jeezy and I. So that episode is coming out next Tuesday. That's part 2. Part 3 is going to come out the next Tuesday. And then at the end, I'm doing a wrap up of my favorite top places to visit in Vietnam, because what I realized is 2 of the places, I'm not going to name which one, but 2 of the places, I've never heard anybody recommend me to go, and they were my favorites. And so I know that it's so important to, see the less traveled things. And in this case, I feel like I have that gem, and I want to make sure I share it with my fam here. Um, okay, you guys, I want to take some time and answer some of your questions. I have about 5 minutes left. Are you okay, Iris? I can't even see you, so you're not even on. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna you're okay to just answer 5 minutes of questions here. Tasha, your editing is on point, girl. I want to say thank you so much. First off, this is the first episode that I've ever like produced and directed and even wrote it and edited. But I cannot have done it without the incredible talent of Ryan Tu, who is my Vietnamese little brother. Ryan accompanied us on the trip, took that amazing footage that you saw, the cinematic, just beautiful visuals of my country, his country too. He was so touched by the trip, you guys, that he actually got a tattoo of Vietnam on
Mm.
his ankle, like right afterwards in Vietnam, which was so cool. And he helped me to edit and put these pieces together. So it's a baby of mine. I feel like there's Monaco and then this travel series that are going to be um like my next tattoo on my body of my kids. It's those. Are you taking the baby to Vietnam? Dee Dee, you asked this. I went back and forth about this with Iris. At a time, there was a moment where I almost thought of taking the baby, right?
Yes, yes.
You know what? I'm glad we didn't, because it would have just been another concern. Because Jeezy and I, and you'll see this in episode 2 next Tuesday, it's so we went through so much. Like, I don't think it would have been harder with the baby. Like, there were things that I would have wanted to take her to, but they just were a bit dangerous, especially in episode 3. There were some things that, like, I'm
Yeah.
glad, but also, if you've already seen the episode, you know that this was a really beautiful moment between Jeezy and I, because today as parents, it is so true, you guys. You barely have time for each other as a couple. Um, Between work and the baby, we really found ourselves just like completely lost in communication and intimacy, and just, where are we in our life? So, very up until the moment you guys see that footage of me getting on the Vietnam Airlines, that's the first time we ever turned off our phones and was like, "Hi, how are you? We're going on this trip together." And so I think it was very, very divine that Monaco didn't come, because it allowed Jeezy and I to revisit our roots and our marriage, and we had some good times and we also had some hard times, to be really honest with you, which I'm going to share in episode 3. Traveling with somebody is, especially overseas, especially when there's a language barrier, and especially when you both haven't been to those regions and those experiences, it is more intimate and more confronting than any other experience in the world. Maybe next to having a child together. So navigating, and you guys ask a lot of questions about Jeezy. I'm going to answer them. Yes, he ate the Vietnamese food. Yes, he immersed himself beautifully in the country. But I'll be honest, like there were times he was like, "This is a lot. This is really overwhelming. I don't feel comfortable." And there's times where he was like, "I don't feel safe." Like, who are these people that we're staying with in the middle of nowhere? Like, if we lost our phones, that's it, you know. And um, so I encourage couples to travel like this, but I really encourage to make sure that the travel details. This is what I'm really big about. Are researched and checked thoroughly so that they're safe and they are going to meet your needs and you guys have somebody on the ground who's helping you. I remember one time to the train, I for a moment, I actually my Vietnamese wasn't that advanced enough to be like, where is this train that I'm supposed to go to? And I had to call Iris out of nowhere. And she had to reach out to her team to find out, and it turned out I was in the right place. It's just that I was early. But things like that happen where you don't want your time with your partner to be a fight about where you're supposed to be, because those are the things that your travel agent should take care of for you. Um, what was Jeezy's favorite dish? I'm going to show you in episode 2, the most unexpected place. And I know we ate at some of the most fabulous restaurants and beautiful experiences, Iris, but the best the best food we ever ate was street food, and you're going to see exactly why in episode 2. It was actually a full circle moment with me and my favorite one of my favorite icons in life that I wanted to pay tribute to in eating this way. So that's on episode 2. um, Tish, you said he had to trust you out of his element, but I'm glad he spoke up. Dang, now I want a book about her travels as an interracial couple. You know what? That's really funny that you say this. Race was the number one topic that our trip consisted of, because when we were in this whole nother country, the understanding of our cultures and the differences came, really head to head. And there were some times where even the way, my culture is and the way, I can be, and sometimes when you're surrounded by your culture, you forget that, like, somebody else is from a different culture and that is very different from them and sometimes off-putting. So those were discussions that Jeezy and I had to have, which I'll share in episode 3 as well. But you are absolutely on the nose about that. The one thing I love about travel is it's a 360 reminder to be respectful about one another's boundaries and about one another's differences, and to see things in different light in different ways, because um you can't speak to that person's heritage and history and upbringing and household and all the things that paint out why they are the way they are. And I learned that about Jeezy, and he learned that about me. um has Jeezy ever rode a motorcycle before? That man has lived many lives. That was a baby bike for him. He absolutely has. But the funny thing about it, I don't know if you know this, Iris, but you're not allowed to take those motorcycles and just ride them. You're not allowed to take like Victoria
Mhm.
bike and ride them. But we were having such a good time, and these women from the Seom EXO tours were so accommodating and so cool, and they trusted us. Jeezy and his like smooth talking way, he's like, "I got this. Don't worry," with his little white helmet on, and the vroom vroom of this moped, and we just off we went as they were like, okay, just please go slow. But we went whoosh, and I saw the looks on their faces, and I was like, okay, if you're gonna go, just go now and come back, because like they already look scared out of their minds. So that was just so fun. But no, I do not recommend for any. I would never do it. I'm Vietnamese and I would never ride a set home, never, because it's too much. Um, did you buy anything authentic made by the people of Vietnam that will remind you of your special day? Oh my God, that's such a good question, Lyle. Yes. My most favorite item that I bought, I don't think I told you this, Iris. I got it from the Intu Mountain, which is, I can't even, this little chat here is nowhere long enough or big enough for me to describe to you how momentous this trip was to the Indu Mountain. And what I bought was a tiny little incense burning box of agar wood. I learned the properties of agar wood. It is a beautiful little. It's a wood that monks burn to clear the energy, to clear toxic and bad energy. And Jeezy and I brought home, like, I don't know, like it's got to be like 50 pounds of it. We looked crazy at customs. We were like, I want to clear out all the bad energy everywhere we are. So I have it, and I'll share it on I'll share it on the third episode. But thank you for that question. Was it a spiritual experience for you guys, Anita? Beyond. It
Oh
was
my God, yeah.
it was it was spiritual, it was cleansing, it was mental, it was physical, it was emotional. um there were some parts, especially at Into Mountain, that I'll explain in the third episode, where I there's something crazy about the energy around that mountain. But I was actually confronted with many scenes in my life, some that brought me a lot of pain, and some that brought me a lot of shame. And that was a huge mirroring moment for me to visit some of those areas and to find ways that I can process it so I can heal. But they were invitations to me that I never knew even existed. And it was because of that Into experience. Um,
I wanted to quickly jump
yeah.
in because I saw somebody asking if they would love to book a tour to Vietnam for their family and if they can book the same tour as you had. And they can actually, when they go on the website, we have the Jeannie Mai signature tour on our website. That's exact same tour that Jeannie did. Don't look into it yet because we still have to keep surprises for the videos. But no, definitely. But we also have our pure Vietnam trip, which is almost the same trip, but a little bit more budget conscious. So if you're looking for a little bit more budget options, then that might be your option. And if you're still looking for something else, then just hit us up, and we'll be happy to customize that tour.
Oh my gosh, and that was so special. I remember asking you, Iris, I was like, that trip, I wouldn't have changed one detail. Everything was so beautiful. Can my fam please just have have the copy of that trip? Like, can they see it so they can book it? And you did that. So you guys, every week you're gonna see in the travel description how to get in touch with Iris, how to get in touch with your travel nation. Guys, the sky's the limit. Please, I don't care what your budget is, or what your situation is. Go to your travel nation, reach out to Iris, and just type in what it is I don't care if you're celebrating a birthday, I don't care if it's a solo trip for you, if it's post divorce, if it's after having kids, if it's first ever family trip, if it's Stella got her groove back. I don't care what it is. Just tell her the situation, because the gift about your travel nation is not just the agency itself, but it's Iris. It's very rare to find somebody who is so intuitive with knowing what it is that you need and what it is that will bless you. And she's so clever. She'll find ways. I mean, there were times where I couldn't take the train. I wanted to take a train. I'm giving you more of episode 2, but it's the first ever train of its kind in Vietnam, and they were all booked up. There was no way to make it happen, but she was able to switch my schedule around and get me to take the night train, which was amazing because then nobody else was on it, and Jeezy and I had the whole car to ourselves. Like, so many cool things that she seeked out to make sure that happened for me. And after she learns your personality, then she'll make your dreams come true. So please do check them out, no matter what your dreams are. Just still give it to her. And you never know. Like, I this dream for me was a couple years ago, and it finally happened now for Iris and I. So it doesn't even matter if it might be something you do later on. The point is to build the relationship with Iris, and I promise you she will not forget, and you guys can travel the trip when it's the right time for you.
Yes, and if you don't know where you want to go next, also get in touch with us because,
Yes.
as you said, we know what you need if you tell us what
Yeah.
exactly you're looking for. Because we've been to a lot of places, and yeah, we know exactly the
Yes.
energy still there.
That's a good point. Actually, you guys, when Vietnam wasn't an option because of the weather, I just told Iris that I wanted to do something for our anniversary, something to bond us, and something to really immerse ourselves in, like, the land and the people. I don't want to go to a trip where I'm looking at the Four Seasons hotel. I don't want to just be sitting there. Although I stayed at a Four Seasons, but the Four Seasons in Vietnam was very different because it was actually acclimated to the land. I don't want something that is removed, so luxurious that it's removed from, like, what the people and the culture are like. And every single hotel, Iris nailed, like, exactly the way that it was formatted to the land, but also she had so many suggestions if we weren't going to go there to other places. We were almost going to do Bali. We were almost going to do Jordan. We
Bhutan.
did
We wanted to take you to Bhutan.
Bhutan was another one which is on my list now. So again, Iris is so right about that. Just tell her your goals, and if you don't even know where to travel, maybe it's just telling her what you're looking for and your budget. And depending again, at this the rates change all year round. She will make it happen for you. I love it. Okay, so did your stomach hurt? Last question. No, not one time did I have the shits. Can you believe that? Okay, so guys, I'm gonna let you go now, but thank you so much for watching. Next Tuesday, hit the subscribe button because when you hit subscribe, it'll notify you when, no, you have to hit the notify button and the subscribe. So subscribe so that I can keep in touch with you and I can see you guys and I can respond to you, but also hit that notification bell so you can see our episode come up next Tuesday. And it's gonna come on every Tuesday after that. Iris, thank you so much for joining me on this chat.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, you guys. So check out at Your Travel Nation on Instagram, yourtravelnation.com for your next travels. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Now let me figure out how to turn this off. Oh my God.
The X left.
The eggs. Got it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye, everybody. See you, Nathan. Bye.